Again, there, Shabbos Kodesh.
I get in Erev Shabbos Kodesh. Where have you been the last year and a half?
It's been Corona craziness.
Crow crow.
I apologize for the mask. I would totally take it off as long as if you just hold your phone like 3 feet away from yourself, and then I'll hold mine 3 feet away, and then we'll be 6 feet, and then
There you go.
I'm a shtickle machbet on it still.
Okay. All right, much better.
Anyway,
what's going
Baruch Hashem. How's about you? What's the good word?
on? Not much doing. Just still been home the last couple months for the most part. Doing my thing.
Insanity.
Yeah. I should be doing something.
Did you eat anything with a fork lately?
Did I eat anything with a fork? I'm not a big fork guy. I like spoons.
Really?
Yeah.
That just popped into my head to ask you about that because I had this thing.
Yeah.
It's like a big pet peeve of mine when people give you cake with a spoon. You ever have that?
I eat everything with a spoon. I don't think
everything.
Everything with a spoon.
You eat a steak with a spoon?
No, that I use my hands for.
I see. I hear.
Why? What do you? So you had cake with a spoon, or you?
I have this thing that cake. I have this thing that cake should be with a fork. I think that's the proper way to eat cake. And cholent and kugel and that, just certain things I feel like require a fork.
So I think this may be something we had in an earlier sugya from way back when. I think a spork is the way to go. It satisfies everybody. It's like the rapapa of cutlery.
But that goes back to a different episode. I like that idea, but rapapa, what was that?
You know rapapa with the burn Fashas Rabo. I think that's why rapapa, you say his name by the siyam. You know, this one bar papa, this one bar papa.
Yeah.
Right? Rami bar papa. I think one of the pshatim is that he was like sort of made everyone like sort of not saying agreed with everybody, basically like like Barney Fashas Rabos, the Chesrona Nakamasha Rasa, and then the other part of it was Baruchei Olamim. I think there was two different shitas, and he combined the two of them together to sort of satisfy everybody.
Interesting. That's kind of like that thing we talked about where you do the mincha mariv, breakfast, lunch, that kind of thing.
Yeah, similar.
Shtickle. Yeah, why? You're more of the spoon guy, you're saying?
In general, I just like spoons, because think about it. If you're like, let's say, taking ices,
yes,
you use a spoon, ices. You get the ices. But
ices, I would go with the spoon. Yeah, I think that's pretty much.
But I know some people who only use a fork for dessert.
Really?
No matter what. So even if it's ices.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. You got to eat it fast before it melts.
Exactly.
It's kind of smart, actually, because otherwise you kind of avoid the melting situation.
Yeah, you don't want anyone having a meltdown.
Definitely not. By the way, speaking of fork, I actually encountered something very interesting lately. I saw a fork in a fork in a fork in the road.
Really?
Yes.
A fork to the third power?
Exactly. It was unbelievable. It was a fork in the road, and I saw a fork that you eat with in that road, and it was the fork. I promise you, the fork was split down the middle. It was amazing. The most amazing. I wanted to take a picture. It was on Shabbos. There went that.
Wow, you really are like a real traveler on the roads. You're start and stop sign guy. You're big into the the slow and stop.
What is that? What are you talking about?
The slow and stop signs, like where there's, let's say, a two-way street where they make it one way, and you have two people on each end holding the slow and stop, where they twist it around.
That's a completely different conversation. Well, we can talk about that too. When the guy was holding this, the sign that has stop and one sign slow on the other, and he was holding up to me the sign that said stop, and he's like motions with me to come.
Was it stop or slow and telling you to go faster?
Oh no, that was it. You're right. I'm sorry. He was holding the slow sign. Very confusing situation. He was holding a slow sign, and he's like, "Hurry up, hurry up."
Yeah.
But it's not a simple job to do that.
No.
To be there, figure out.
And you got to coordinate.
It's a lot of responsibility.
It's like synchronize sign moving.
Yeah, I mean, there could be traffic. You have to know how to.
The other guy.
You have to what?
You have to do, it's like synchronized sign moving because you have to turn it around at the same time the other guy is, because he's also got the slow stop sign from the other people.
What do you mean? There's two people. You mean?
People. When you do the slow stop, there's two people. It's basically like, let's say there's a two-way street. Then let's say for the next 300 feet.
Yeah, there should
way,
be two people.
There is.
I think there was one guy this time. I think they were low staff because of Corona, maybe.
All right.
It's crazy times, we live in.
Whatever works. But I guess there's less people on the road, so you can have a one-way slow stopper.
That's probably what it was. Listen, it's always good to see you, Ellie, and especially on Erev Shabbos. I mean, we haven't done ages, and so in ages.
In ages, yeah, exactly. It's been a while.
Any new words lately that you've invented?
Any new words? I did come up with one earlier today. You may actually be aware of it. There was a I thought I came up with a new word called informationalist, but it seems like that word is a word out there, basically.
Oh, is it?
The job description. But there was another thing you actually earlier today was when I did a voice note to you, or you to me. You were saying you didn't understand what I was saying, and you had to go back. You said you rewinded the voice note, and then you also told me that you have to come up with a new word because rewind is not you're not winding any tape or film or whatever it's called. I think the new word is reslide. You got to slide back to earlier in the conversation.
Brilliant.
Reslide. Sheer
brilliance. Reslide. I think that may be your best one yet, Ellie.
Really? Wow.
I mean, I'm just gonna try to pop it into a conversation. Can you just reslide to the back, just to like a minute ago?
There you go.
It's good stuff.
Especially with our long messages.
Very smooth. I'm very into it.
Speaking of long messages, and I don't want to get this going too long. Yeah. Earlier this week, by accident, I left somebody voice notes back to back that were 37 seconds without realizing.
Okay.
And he was like, "Wow, you're pretty consistent with 37 seconds." So now every single time I leave that guy a voice note, even if that's only be like the answer is like yes, I'd be like yes, and I'll just like make up garbage for the next 36 seconds just so I get that 37 seconds.
It keeps the consistency in the conversation. It's not a bad idea.
Exactly.
Well, Ellie, did you want to add something else, or?
That's all I got.
All right. Well, if you missed anything, you can just reslide it and go back.
There you go.
And boom.
That works. Awesome.
All righty. I get in Shabbos.
Have a great Shabbos.
Enjoy your Parshas Re'eh. Enjoy your cholent and ices or whatever you're eating. With a fork, with a spoon, whatever with your hands, whatever works for you.
Awesome. Have a great Shabbos.
Good Shabbos. Take care.
I'll see ya.
Bye.